You wake up, check your bank account, and your social security check isn't there. Bills are due, groceries are running low, gas is almost empty, and now you're asking the scariest question: where is my money? This is not just news. This is about your rent, your medicine, your food, and your peace of mind. Right now, millions of Americans depend on social security checks every single month. Seniors, people with disabilities, survivors, and families. And January 2026 is shaping up to be a month with new payment dates, possible delays, and confusing changes that could catch you off guard if you're not prepared. So if your social security check is your main source of income, this video is for you. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear could directly affect when your money arrives and how you plan your entire month. Mini summary: January 2026 payments are changing, and missing this update could cost you time, money, and peace of mind. Now let's talk about the real problem: why January is different. Here's the issue no one explains clearly. January is not a normal payment month. Every year, January comes with federal holidays, bank processing delays, weekend scheduling shifts, new yearly system updates. And in 2026, those factors stack up in a way that can push some payments later than expected. Social Security does not send all checks on the same day. Instead, payments depend on when you were born, which benefit you receive, how you get paid, bank versus direct express. Now add holiday closures and system resets, and suddenly, some people will see money early, some on time, and some later. That's where the stress begins, because the bills don't wait, even when your check does. Mini summary: January combines holidays, banking schedules, and benefit rules that can shift payment dates. Next, let's talk about what this actually means for your household. How a few days can change everything. Let's be real for a moment. If your check is late by even 48 hours, what happens? Rent late fees, utility shutoff warnings, credit card penalties, skipped medications. That small delay can turn into a full-blown financial crisis. For many families, there's no extra cushion, no savings, no backup income. And when January hits, expenses are already high: heating bills, post-holiday debt, higher grocery prices. So when payment timing shifts, it doesn't just cause inconvenience, it causes real fear and real consequences. That's why knowing your exact January 2026 payment window matters so much. Mini summary: delays don't just hurt, they trigger chain reactions in your entire budget. Now let's break down who gets paid when. Who gets paid first in January 2026? Here's where things get interesting. Some beneficiaries are scheduled before others. And yes, that means some people will see money earlier. Typically, these groups get paid first. SSI recipients, people receiving both SSI and Social Security, certain long-term beneficiaries. But timing still depends on bank posting speed, federal holiday schedules. So even if SSA sends the payment, your bank may not release it immediately. And that gap is where confusion and panic often start. People check their account and think, did something go wrong with my benefits? Most of the time, nothing is wrong. It's just processing. Mini summary: some groups are paid earlier, but bank timing still affects when you actually see the money. Next, let's talk about the birthday-based payment system. Birthday groups: why your date matters. If you receive regular Social Security retirement or SSDI, your payment date usually depends on your birthday. Here's the basic structure: born 1st 10th, paid early in the month; born 11th 20th, mid-month payments; born 21st 31st, later payments. But in January, holidays and weekends can push those dates. So what looks normal on paper may not land normally in your bank. And if your payment is scheduled on a holiday, it usually shifts, but not always in the direction you expect. Sometimes earlier, sometimes later. That uncertainty is why January causes so many calls to SSA every year. Mini summary: your birthday controls your payment group, but January can still shift the actual deposit day. Now let's talk about delays and what really causes them. Why delays happen even when SSA sends on time. This part surprises a lot of people. SSA can release your money exactly on schedule, but your bank may still hold it. Why? Holiday staffing shortages, system maintenance, verification procedures, high volume transaction days. Direct express cards can also experience processing slowdowns, customer service backlogs. So even when SSA does everything right, you might still wait. That's why it's important not to panic immediately, but also not to ignore real delays. Mini summary: not all delays are SSA's fault. Banks and card processors play a big role too. Now let's hit the wait for it moment, because this part really matters. The biggest January surprise. Here's the part most people don't see coming. Some January payments actually arrive in late December. Yes, depending on your benefit type and payment cycle, your January money may hit before New Year's Day. Sounds good, right? Wait for it. That means you may have to stretch that money longer than usual. And if you spend it like a normal month, you could run short before the next deposit. So early payment is not always a win. Sometimes it's a budgeting trap. Mini summary. Early payments can feel good, but they create longer gaps between deposits. Next, let's talk about what not to do if your check is late. What not to do if your payment is missing. When money doesn't show up, panic kicks in. But some actions can actually make things worse. Don't assume your benefits were cut. Don't immediately change bank accounts. Don't flood SSA lines on the first morning. Instead, wait at least one full business day. Check your payment schedule, confirm with your bank or card provider. Most delays resolve within 24 to 72 hours, but if you act too fast, you could trigger account flags or processing resets. Mini summary. Give the system time before assuming the worst. Now let's talk about warning signs that do matter. When a delay is a real problem. Not all delays are harmless. You should take action if your payment is missing after 3 business days, your benefit status shows suspended, you received an SSA notice recently, your banking info recently changed. Those situations may require immediate follow-up, because sometimes delays are not technical, they're administrative, and those take longer to fix. Mini summary. Know when to wait and when to act fast. Next, let's talk about how to protect yourself. How to prepare before January even starts. Preparation can reduce stress more than you think. Here's what you can do now. Write down your expected payment window. Keep at least one bill flexible if possible. Save a small buffer if you can. Track your deposits monthly. Also, make sure SSA has your correct address, your correct banking details. Small errors cause big delays. Mini summary, a little planning can prevent a lot of panic. Now let's talk about emotional reality, because money stress is real. The emotional toll of payment uncertainty. No one talks about how exhausting this feels. Waiting for money when you depend on it is not just stressful, it's mentally draining. It affects sleep, family relationships, health decisions, and too many people blame themselves when it's not their fault. This system is complicated, and you're not weak for feeling anxious about it. Mini summary, your stress is valid, and you're not alone in this. Now let's talk about what the government isn't telling you clearly. Why official notices often cause confusion. SSA notices are often technical, vague, delayed. By the time you get a letter, the issue may already be happening. That's why staying informed matters, and that's why videos like this exist, to translate government language into real-life meaning for your wallet. Mini summary. Don't rely only on mailed notices. Stay proactive. Now let's zoom out for a bigger picture. What this means for 2026. As a whole, January sets the tone for the entire year. If payment schedules shift now, you should expect more calendar-based changes, more holiday adjustments, more system maintenance periods. Staying alert in January helps you stay ready all year. Mini summary. January patterns often repeat throughout the year. Now let's bring this home. Why this video matters for your future. This isn't about fear. It's about awareness, because when you know what's coming, you don't panic, you prepare, and preparation protects your rent, your health, your family stability. That knowledge is power. Mini summary, information is your best financial defense. Now let's end strong. Here's the truth. Your Social Security check is not just a deposit. It's your lifeline. It's your security. It's your independence. And January 2026 brings changes that could affect when that lifeline reaches you. So don't ignore payment schedules. Don't assume every month works the same. And don't face the system alone. If this video helped you understand what's coming, that means it did its job. Subscribe for real updates that protect your wallet. Share this with someone who depends on Social Security. Stay informed, stay ready, and stay one step ahead, because when it comes to your money, you deserve answers before problems hit.